Welcome back again. So you may notice a bit of a change of scenery and a slight change to the cars. We've gone with the little legends, these little hot rods, and we've flown home to the UK, and we're at Brands Hatch on the Indy layout, the short layout. Some fantastic corners at this circuit. I wish I could name them all, but I can't. I know some of them. Oh, who's that going off? Got a car off on the inside there. These things again, they're modded. These little cars, these little legends, they're modded to be very light. They look like a real car, but they're just a space frame with a fiberglass body shell and a massive great big engine. Load of power through the rear wheels, and very easy to spin them out. Once again, there we've got a car off, so mixing up a little bit. A slightly longer lap with these. We've got a 56-second lap, so we're looking at probably 15 or 16 laps for the race. I'm just doing qualifying now, and as you can see, James is back out the front as per usual. So this actually changes the ratings slightly. So we've now gone from overall ratings into road ratings. We've got Craig and James both A rated. We've got Simon and Cluffy on B ratings. We've got Chris Slater on a C rating, and Darren and Matt Banyard are both on a D rating. But that just means really that they've not had the exposure time in iRacing. Necessarily. As I said, that Darren is a real life racer, so is Chris. I believe Matt Banyard also turns his hand to some bike racing. And I'm pretty sure so does Craig. I'm sure they'll correct me if I'm wrong. So we're just following James around. Let's see if we can go into cockpit and follow him around in this for Brands Hatch. Going down the hill, sharpish left-hander. You can run this really wide. There's a long grass creek on the exit there. Climb up the hill. Near the left of, I believe it's Surtees. You kind of literally drift a little bit wide into the right-hander there. This is all awkward because it's off camber, and it's not off camber, it's slightly camber, but just over that brow of that hill just lifts up. And as you can see there, James fighting with the steering wheel to keep it in the straight line as it goes over the start-finish straight. And then we're going to come down the infamous Paddock Hill bend as he comes around the corner in the middle of the track, just clips the curb on. Oh, don't even clip the curb on the inside, just missed the apex. Drops it down the hill just when you think it's going to go too wide. It grips up and gives you that turn around the really steady Druids hairpin, and we're back down, going down the hill into the section there. Now we don't do the GP section. Normally the GP section of this track disappears off to the left just at this corner here. You'll see it's coned off just there on the left. It goes down to the Dingley Dell and rejoins the track just about here. Makes this a really fast right hand bend. So we're looking like 30 seconds left of qualifying. James has sealed the pole with Chris very close behind him. In second, Cluffy, Sidey Vine, Craig Darren Berris and Matt Banyard. Struggling to find a little bit of pace there in these tricky little Legends cars. Fortunately, I've not got my details on me for these cars. It was a little of a late decision to change. All the drivers are chatting in the Discord, and they've decided they've had enough of the aerial. Move into this track. They know the track, they're just not familiar with the car, so it's going to be interesting. Well, it looks like we've got a minute left. Now, just like in Mastermind, if you started a flying lap, you can finish that lap. Same as F1. If you started the lap before the checkered flag, you can finish that, and then you go to the checkered flag being waved for James. He wasn't able to improve in his time though. With a 54.7, so perhaps his tyres have gone off. Sorry, no, not a 54.7. He did a 53.137. Oh dear. Mr. Slater's lost. Oh. It's a good job we're on the cooldown lap, because that would have been an interesting rejoin. So, we're going to go... I'm not sure how we're going to start this race, whether it's going to be a pace car lap, or whether it's going to be... Oh, are we doing donuts? Yeah, it looks like it. Also, we're having a little play with some donuts, just on Drury's hairpin. So now we're into the race, just gridding up. Is it going to be a... Yep, we're going to have a pace car start, so we're probably going to do a lap behind the pace car, and then we're going to get underway. I'll try and stay on top of the replays this time. We'll see how we go. It seems to be having a little bit of a glitch, my replay button. But I'll figure that out for next time I stream. Oh, a little bit of a burnout on the start there for Chris Slater. Warming his rear tyres up. They look cool, these little things. Really cool. Loads of power. Oh, classy American GI paint scheme there for number 7, Chris Slater. 23 there for James King. Got the rusty bucket, number 6 for Cluffy. Side has taken a... What's Side taken? Oh, he's got the Tabasco sauce, that's right, yes. Craig, I think Craig's gone for a similar kind of dark green. Oh no, yep, Craig's gone with a similar kind of dark green theme to his street stock. We've got Darren Berris in the black and red. My Little Pony being at the rear, Matt Banyard, so let's go back to the leader. For the start, the pace car is in, and James is leading out the pack. Across the start finish straight, we're underway. Slater immediately goes for the inside. Oh, he's just showing James where he is there. Down Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. James has got quite a lead there. Oh, we've got a spinner. That looks like Darren Berris. No, Side Divine. Side Divine has spun on Paddock Hill Bend. Hopefully he didn't collect too many people. James is firmly out front. Chris Slater and Cluffy are keeping him honest. Definitely keeping him honest there. I don't think he's going to get away quite so easily with this one. I think Chris is potentially holding up Cluffy ever so slightly there. Let's go in cockpit with Cluffy and see how he gets on. He's got the American GI and his cup of coffee for company. Nice line to Paddock Hill. Up under the bridge. Brake hard for Druids. Round the bend there. Back on the power nice and gently. Around the left hand bend. Just a dab of the brakes. Take a little curve on the inside. Load to clear the exit. Nice lines. It's not getting any closer though. James King seems to be just holding that lead ever so nicely. With Craig a couple of seconds back there. Matt Banyard, and it looks like Darren Berris and Sai maybe came together on that first lap as they're about 12 seconds behind, and they've had a bit of an incident there. It's a shame, but we've got another 14 laps to go. Anybody's game really. This could well come back to them. It's looking like Craig is Craig at the back of this leading trio. Such is the pace. So we've got the front four split by about 4 seconds. Moving very nicely. It's definitely one of the better tracks in the UK. This one, it's a great. Oh no! And and Cloughie's lost it. That's a real shame for Cloughie there. He just got a little bit leery on the brow of the hill there, lost the back end, and he's gone round, found the barrier. Hopefully he's not too much damage and he's back underway again. What a shame for Cloughie there. Let's go back to the front end and to James and Mr. Slater, who's quite close. So we've got a bit of a gap now back to Craig. Hopefully he can close that up and fill the space that Cloughie had. Real shame for Cloughie there to drop out from third. He could have picked up some a bit of a podium. He's already got past Matt Banyal at the back there, I believe, and he's going to fight the way back to the field. So I was saying, yeah, this is a great little track. It's got some of the best corners in the world, especially this one here, Paddock Hill Bend, as you kind of come over the Brine Crest, just find the inside, and then you come down the hill. And when it hits the bottom of that hill, you really get the grip, and just brings it nicely up the hill. Uphill braking zone into Druids. It's a fantastic set of corners. And when you add in the GP loop, it's even better. James has taken a lot of exit grasscrete there, which is entirely allowable. You can take that there. It's some of the track limits on this sim. You put a single wheel over the white line and you pick up a penalty, but some of them like here reflect real life, so in real life you're allowed to use that grasscrete. You can go quite wide on the exit of that bend. James is definitely holding his own at the front here. Let's go back down the field a bit and see how Sai's getting on. Oh no! Commentator's curse there for Sai. I think I just switched to him and he just managed to lose it in the same place that Cloughie lost it. Not quite as dramatic as Cloughie finding the barriers. Just lit the back end up ever so slightly. See the tyre smoke in the background still. So that gifts Cloughie another place. How far is he back now from Darren? He's only a couple of seconds back from Darren. So he's on a charge, but he's just. Oh, I think Darren had a bit of an issue there as well. So Cloughie's on a charge. He's back through the field from third down to last, back up to fifth, and he's about to take fourth. This could get very interesting. As long as he doesn't do the same mistake again. He's just sizing him up. Now Cloughie's not a real racing driver. Well, I say not a real racing driver. Cloughie's a pure sim driver. Of course, he's a real racing driver. He races sims, but Darren Barris obviously got the track experience and has probably driven Brands Hatch in his Lotus a few times, so knows the track quite well. But I know Cloughie knows this track really well too, and does like to dabble in these little exotic cars. So he's probably no stranger to this guy. And Darren comes back through on the inside there. Cloughie's got the outside line, got the run on the grasscrete, and just holds him off. Back at the hill. It's looking like he's made it stick. But Craig is about 12 seconds up the road. I don't think. Darren's lost it. Darren's just spun out the back there. Let's go to Darren, see he's getting back on track. Okay. Oh, he's gone a bit of infield bashing. He came off the road at the top of the hill and rejoined at the bottom. So like Jack and Jill. Came at the top of the hill, back down to the bottom. Once you get these things on the grass, there's no stopping. It just slides and slides, so that's why he's had to find a bit of tarmac down the bottom of the hill there. So that promotes Cloughie back to fourth place. But like I say, he's about 12 seconds down from Craig, so I don't think he's going to pick up any more places. James King at the front is comfortably leading, 2-second gap over Chris Slater. Just taking it in his stride. He's not losing the back end too much. He's just keeping it nice and steady. Let's see if we can join him. Oh, what's this? There's somebody off there. Oh, it's Mr. Vanguard spun in his big car. James, that's not the right line through there, James. And Darren Burris is pitting there. Pits off some damage somewhere. But James is still holding that 2-second gap despite losing it. See him correcting the wheel to his left in a right-hander just to keep the back end under control as he just throttles feeds the power back in. Back end which wants to spin a little bit of opposite lock just to keep it in check. The quicker you can get the steering wheel back to zero, back to neutral, the quicker you accelerate, because you're not scrubbing the speeder. So if you can kind of get the car turning, just a little bit of power, not that much power, if you can get the back end turning and get the car kind of pointing in the right direction, but sliding ever so slightly, you can get the power down much better. Neutral steering and turning that steering back to the zero position. That's the ideal. But in these things it's a little bit tricky. Especially now, the tyres are going to be getting a bit old now. 11 laps into the race. Especially the rear tyres, they're going to be getting a bit slippery. We've got driving on ice very soon. So he's drifting a bit wide. Chris Slater seems to have dropped back a little bit. So he's dropped back 2 seconds now. Just can't quite keep pace of James out front. Oh, and actually, so Craig, it looks like Craig has had an incident because Fluffy has actually caught him up. Quite considerably. So Fluffy is now just 4 seconds behind with 5 laps to go behind Craig. So he could potentially get his podium back. Now that would be a bit of a result. See his bright green helmet shining out the back of his rusty jalopy. As Craig comes to the screen there. Drop down Paddock Hill Bend. And that gap is about 3.5 seconds. I don't think he's quite got the pace to catch him. So let's have a look at the lap times. See if we can get the lap times on our little tracker actually. So Craig is doing 54 threes, Fluffy's doing 54 ones last laps. So he's catching him a little bit, but it's certainly not a second a lap, which is what he would need to take that 3rd place. Unless, of course, Craig makes another little mistake, which is entirely possible. He's already lost 8 seconds of a 12-second lead. They pretty much match themselves there for pace. That round time round, just a 10th between them. Sai back in 5th is slightly slower there. I think Matt Daniel's transponder must be not picking up because he's definitely not doing 0.3 second laps unless he's pulled from the pits. So look. Oh no, he's not in the pits. He's still circuited with Chris Slater coming up behind him to lap him. Yeah, Chris Slater's just lapped McBanyard. Not just taking the... oh no, and Chris has spun just by taking the outside line there. He probably got a little bit on the marbles and he's spun round. Oh, and he's having a bit of a mare there. Here's Chris. Oh, is this going to put him back into Craig's territory? Let's look at those gaps. So no, there's plenty of space, but he's put him back out of contention for getting James 17 seconds down. He's still got a 7-second buffer back to Craig. And I think Cluffy must have had a bit of an incident too, because he's dropped back into. Now then, he's dropped back into the sights of Sai. Yep, Sai's got Cluffy. Cluffy's picked up some damage. He seems to be missing the rear mid guard a little bit there. He's obviously had a bit of a spin. Oh, we've got Chris Slater's gone round again. Does that mean that Craig is going to be coming? Let's see where Craig is. So yeah, Craig is very close to him there with 3 laps to go. Craig, it's all changing. So James is definitely out the front. He's had a faultless race. It looks like I'm sure Craig's front wheel there is not pointing the right direction. He's perhaps a little bit slower than he should be. So what have we got? We've got James clearly out the front. 24-second lead at the moment, so half a lap ahead. We've got Chris, who's had a few moments in the closing stage of the race, a few spins. Just losing the back tyres a bit. Towards the end there, we've got Craig Durrant, just 3 seconds back. With 2 laps to go, he's probably not going to make that gap. That's Darren Barris has been lapped, coming up behind Craig. Cluffy, yeah, he's definitely missing a rear wheel arch there, and it looks like he's probably crabbing a little bit. I'll go in the cockpit with him. So we're struggling to keep control. We're on the final lap now, so let's see if Sai. Oh, let's see if Sai's going to get him. No, Sai's a good way back. So come up to the last lap. Should see the white flag. So he's just holding back. And I think, oh no, Cluffy's had a mare at Paddock Hill, and Sai takes 4th place. Let's see. I think Cluffy will be safe because everybody else is a lap down. But oh dear, Cluffy. Looks so promising to be getting back to the lead there, but he's just lost his tyres. James King is doing us some donuts. There we go. Victory donuts. Oh, and Chris Slater very nearly collected him, and so did Darren Barris. Yeah. Well done, James. Oh, and it seems that Sai has sadly collected James while he's doing his. Oh, we got a bit more going on. So that's also Cluffy's just collected James King. Rolling over. We're going into Wreckfest now. Look, they're all over the place. So let's look at your final results then before we sign off for the night. So we've got our results aren't coming up, but let's do it off this one. So we've got James King out of the lead. Slater was 25 seconds back in second. Craig Durrant in third, followed by Sai, Thaddeus Vine, Cluffy, Darren, and Matt Barnyard. 3 laps down at the back there. It's Donut City. Donut City. Okay, so that was Wednesday one-offs. Like I say, come and join us next week because we've got Race Room next week, and we're going to bear with me. Let me just find out where we're going to next week. So next week we're at Race Room. We're going to Brands Hatch Indy actually, in the NSUs, the little Eastern European sports car. They're a lot of fun, especially around Brands Hatch Indy. I think we're going to go with a 3-race mix-up next week. So we'll do Brands in the NSUs. We'll do a couple of different tracks, a couple of different cars. But we're going to be in Race Room next week. So hope you've enjoyed tonight, and we'll see you again at some point in the future. It might not be next week. I may well be racing, or I may not be. We'll see how we get on. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again later. Good night.